Hello and welcome to Black Money Daily, economic news from our point of view. We release a podcast every weekday at lunchtime, so don't forget to subscribe. And now here is the news. The Fed needs to do more to address racial economic impact from the pandemic. That's according to Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic. The Federal Reserve has a substantial role to play in addressing the racial economic disparities brought about by coronavirus. Bostic calls the recovery uneven and says the Fed is conducting quote unquote muscular outreach to local governments to help them provide aid to their communities. The mere presence of the conversation is a bright sign, and current Fed policies can help, he said. For instance, Bostic cited the central bank's recent pledge not to raise interest rates until inflation averages 2% over a period of time. The new approach will stay in place even if unemployment comes down considerably, and is touted as another way the Fed can help combat the outsized pandemic impact on minorities. Uber Eats is deploying free food trucks to feed voters. In a patriotic pitch celebrating Election Day, Uber Eats plans to deploy a fleet of food trucks to offer free food to voters at polling sites across the country. With lengthy wait times likely to occur on voting lines, the food delivery arm of the ride-sharing platform is serving free food from 180 trucks at polling places in 25 cities. Uber and his partner, Pizza to the Polls, will be on the road to deliver free food and good vibes to those waiting to cast their ballots. Free treats will be from Shake Shack, Milk Bar, and other local favorites. America's job market is in crisis no matter who wins the election. The election is a couple of weeks away, but no matter who wins the U.S. presidential contest in November, one of the most pressing problems for the next administration to solve will be America's broken job market. Beth Ann Bovino, who is S&P Global Chief U.S. Economist, says, quote, open quotes, the harsh reality is that whoever the president is on January 20th, he has his work cut out for him. While the U.S. is no longer careening towards a depression, labor market data shows the economy is mired in a weak recovery. The unemployment rate is still high at 7.9%, which is above or equal to its peak 8 of the past 11 recessions, close quote. To get the economy back to pre-pandemic levels, the upcoming administration has a few paths to assist, including stimulus, infrastructure, trade, and tax reductions. We'll see which path they choose. Today's show is sponsored by the 10K Project, and we do have an upcoming event called The Guide to Black Wealth. It's featuring the financial rebel himself, Mr. Kamari Ellis, on Thursday, October 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You can visit the10kproject.com to register. There is no charge to attend. Virtual fitness is having a moment. The global virtual fitness industry has expanded during the pandemic and is expected to continue its expansion even after the pandemic is over. A recent analysis by market research firm Report Ocean has found that the online fitness market is expected to reach $44.7 billion by 2026, and that's in comparison to $6 billion last year. According to the report, it is likely that even after life gets back to normal, people will stick with their virtual workouts because they offer flexibility of time and place. If you're in this business, the report did present an area of opportunity. That's with senior citizens. Elderly individuals are increasingly focusing on their healthier lifestyles, and they follow the advice of qualified fitness specialists. The adoption of virtual fitness, according to the report, is gaining momentum among this special age group. as they hire personal virtual trainers for the correct implementation of fitness training procedures. And yes, coronavirus has decimated the box office. According to ComScore, the 2020 domestic box office has brought in only $2 billion this year from blockbusters like Bad Boys for Life. But that's nothing compared to the $11 billion last year. But you know who did win? Eddie Murphy and Coming to America. The much anticipated sequel sold last week to Amazon for $125 million. I personally cannot wait to see this movie. Coming to America also stars Arsenio Hall, Jermaine Fowler, Leslie Jones, Shari Heatley, John Amos, Tracy Morgan, Wesley Snipes, and James Earl Jones. It's slated to premiere on December 18th, 2020. So that's today's podcast. We'd love to hear your comments. And don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and tell a friend or two about Black Money Daily.